So here is video 2. So if you haven't watched video 1, video 1 does questions 1 through 13. Watch video 1 first. Question number 14, I have to use distributive property. So I'm going to use distributive property to distribute 5 to m, which will give me 5m, and 5 to 4, which will give me 20, because 5 times 4 is 20. Now I have to use distributive property to distribute 7. 7 times m is 7m, and 7 times negative 7 is negative 49. On the right-hand side of my equation, you're going to notice you have like terms. You have two terms that have an m, so you can combine them. 5m plus 12m, 7m is 12m. And then you have 20 and negative 49. They're like terms. You can combine them. You don't do the opposite. You just combine them. So 20 minus 49 is negative 29. Why do you combine them? Because they're on the same side of the equal sign. Now I'm going to solve for m by getting rid of the negative 29. The opposite is to add 29. 31 plus 29 will give you 60. And when I divide both sides by 12, because I don't want 12m, I just want 12, m is going to equal 5. So this will be the solution for number 14. Number 15, I'm going to use distributive property, so I'm going to rewrite 3a plus 2, the inequality, but now I'm going to use distributive property to distribute negative 5. So I'll get 40, because negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40. Negative 5 times 7a is negative 35a. I don't have any like terms, but I do have to move my terms from one side to the other. So I'm going to get rid of the negative 35 by adding 35, because opposite is to add. So now I have 38a plus 2 is less than 40. I'm going to do it down here. I didn't leave enough space. The opposite of adding by 2 is subtracting by 2. So I'm going to get 38a is less than 38. But then I don't want 38a, I just want 38. I just want a. So I have to divide both sides by 38. And what's 38 divided by 38? Well, I'm hoping you say 1. So the answer is A. Number 16, you're using distributive property again. So we're going to distribute the 2 by getting 2n. 2 times 5 is 10. Rewrite 38 minus 5n. You have n's on both sides of your inequality, so I need to do the opposite to move them around. So I'm going to move the negative 5n by adding 5n. And that'll give me 7n plus 10 is less than 38. The 5n's go away, one positive, one negative. Subtract 10 from both sides of your inequality, and you're going to get 7n is less than 28, because 10 minus 10 cancels out. 7n means 7 times n, so I'm going to divide, and n is going to be less than 4. Number 7 has a fraction. You can multiply everybody by 5 to get rid of it, or you can just move the 4 by subtracting 4, and you'll get 1/5 a is equal to negative 2. The opposite of multiplying by a fraction is to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 5 over 1. And 5 over 1 means the same as just 5. 5 divided by 1 is just 5. So the 5 and the 1/5 cancel out, so you're left with a, and negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Same thing with 18. But if you don't like the fraction, you can multiply everybody by the denominator. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different than 17. But in the end, you get the same result. 2 times 1/2 a is just a. Plus 2 times a is 2a. And 2 times 3 is 6. A plus 2a gives me 3a. And when I divide both sides by 3, what's 6 divided by 3? The answer will be 2. Number 19, which value could x be if, well, this is an and statement. So I'm going to solve them by splitting them up. And solving each for x. So here I would add 2 to both sides of my inequality, getting negative 5 is less than or equal to x. And over here, when you add 2 to both sides, you would end up getting x is less than or equal to 10. If I graph this, here's 10, here's negative 5. This is going to be a closed circle, because remember my inequality, I want to rewrite it so that the x is first, so I can easily graph it. This inequality is pointing to the right, so that means this guy goes to the right, and the 10 is going to the left, so this guy goes to the left. So my solutions is anything between negative 5 and 10, including them. So negative 9 for D is way over here. He is not in between these two. He's out. Positive 3 is. Positive 9 is. Because you have 9 right here before the 10. You have 3 somewhere in here. But negative 11 is somewhere way over here. So there's 2 answers for number 19, B and C. This is an OR statement, so if I solve for R by subtracting 4 to both sides of my inequality, I will get R is less than 5, or if I add 5 to both sides of my inequality, I'm going to get R is greater than or equal to 10. So if I were to graph this at 5 and at 10, at 5, this is an open circle because it's not equal to, and my inequality points to the left. And at 10, my inequality is an equal to, and it points to the right. So the numbers 6, 7, 8, 9 are not solutions. But you only need it to be true for 1, so because this is an OR. So is 3 going to be over here where this solution set's at? Yes. How about negative 4? Yes. How about 1? Yes. How about negative 1? So all of these are solutions for x because all of them fit in the solution set. The only ones that are not solutions would be 6, 7, 8, and 9. And obviously not 5 because this is an open circle. Everything else is a solution. 21. I need to solve both of these for k, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides of my inequality, getting k is greater than or equal to 9. And over here, when I divide negative 2 to both sides, I'm going to get k is less than or equal to negative 4. So this is an OR, which means that my inequalities are pointing in different directions. So there's a typo on the solution. It should be k is greater than or equal to 9 or k is less than or equal to negative 4. Unless I did something wrong, but I didn't because, I know how to do this. So this is the correct answer. It's not those. Sorry, guys. 22 is less than. This is an and statement. Remember, less than. So I'm going to rewrite my inequalities. I'm going to split them up using the word and solve each one for n. So the opposite of subtracting by n is to add by 10 to the other side of the inequality. And I get negative 10 is less than n. And on the second one, I'm going to add 10 to both sides of my inequality. And I get n is less than or equal to negative 5. I'm going to write these together. So the one on the left, I'm going to write. The one on the right, now I'm going to write. But remember, the n is the same n. So I just write the rest of the inequality. So my answer will be C. And there's nothing on the last page, so it was just this one. On my next video, I'll do the SRA. So this is the end of this one.